Hello, beautiful people. It's Drew here. I am Drew, and I am here today to do my week 3 check-in for February of 2022. I'm trying out another new location. I might actually change my desk, and it's got a bit more light coming through the window. So hopefully this is a good position to see, and hopefully future videos will be a little bit more clearer with a lot more light. But hi, I'm Drew, and I wanted to first of all thank my new subscribers and also my existing subscribers and all the comments that keep coming through. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate your ongoing support, because it definitely makes my day when I see your comments and support. So many new people are commenting and joining, and yeah, I really love this community so much. I have been a little bit more absent in February, but that's because I have been sorting out some of my finances, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today in the overall scope of the check-in for the third week. But before we do that, we're just going to go through the third week and check up anything that's been paid, talk about what's upcoming next week, and any changes in terms of anything I've done for my budget. So we are looking at the week of the 13th to the 20th, because today is the 20th. So pretty simple week. I already paid my Optus bill early, which I mentioned I think last video, and this was originally my Amazon Prime, but I actually cancelled my Prime because I decided that I would much rather spend the allocated money for my Prime on having something nice on a Friday, at least once a month. And I am going to be doing a lot more reading, a lot more academic reading, a lot more writing, so it just made a lot more sense for me for the time being to sort of allocate money to that, because I'm not going to be watching or using Prime as much. I don't buy anything really off Amazon enough to warrant the free delivery, and I use my Kindle Unlimited for books anyway. So I've changed that, and just above that, what was going towards the washing machine is going to go towards something else this next coming cycle as well. I had to change that, so that was a bit of a change as well. So yeah, so this month has seen me change my drop my Prime and my Audible subscription. Both I'm happy with dropping. I'm using Scribd so much more. I love the service. I'm using it every day. It's perfect for work and pleasure reading. And yeah, I'm still using my Kindle Unlimited. I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's a good number of services to be using for work and pleasure reading, because I love reading in general. So yeah, pretty easy week. Coming up is going to be groceries are coming out, my rent's coming out, Scribd is coming out, and then that's it in terms of services. Now I did and have spent money out of my services for March, like my March head, so I'm going to be having to put money back into that. I'm okay with that. I'm gonna have to rejig March anyway, but it's kind of helping me to get a different idea about what I'm prioritizing and what I'm going to be prioritizing in the future, because mainly a lot of my goals have to change. So I live in a share house, so currently at the moment we're going through transition where one of my housemates is moving out, and we have 5, so we're going down to 4, which means that a lot of more expenses are going to be coming up. In terms of bills are going to be a little bit more expensive, paying some outright initial things to do with the lease, and some bond stuff is going to be paid out, so that's going to be a little bit more expensive coming out of my budget. and just long term, any sort of investments that I'm very happy to make for the house, so that we can have a like harmonious house, are going to come out. So I've had to really do my February budget again. I have done an outline for March. I'm going to be trying to stick to that as much as possible. We'll talk about that in March. But any of my goals really that I set for February, I'm not too worried if I do not make them. Predominantly the main one that I want to make sure I hit, if any, is to make sure I have like $150 in my bills ahead, cyclical bills ahead. That's it. Like I'm happy with that, and I've already been allocating what was once my takeaway money into my groceries to make them stretch anyway, so that's been working for me. As I mentioned before, like having a coffee once a month is great. What I would really like to do is to be able to, after April, after my partner's visit, look at my budget and make sure that I'm giving myself that at least. And I've also spoken to my partner, who is lovely, and in this transition period of time, he's going to also help with things like date night by like buying me nice food for date night, which is really nice. So I can put my money that usually for like extra things like socializing or treats or whatever is going to go towards bills and stuff at the moment. So that's been helpful. So it's come at a really weird time, but we go with it and we adjust our budget. So predominantly, like I said, it's a pretty easy month for the rest of the month. Most of my services will be paid, my rent's ahead, which I'm very happy about. Food will be paid, money will be going towards electricity, so those things are sorted. Really what we're looking at for the rest of the month is money that's going to go into the envelopes for the trip, having a mattress of course, and I think I put a little bit aside to put back into my services. So it's not a steep crawl, I guess a crawl, it's not a steep step back towards making sure I have money in my account for my services. And of course, if I make any money in the interim, that's also going to go towards bills and things ahead. So that's really my plan from now on, at least until after April, is to put what I can into bills and my health envelope, health medical, so that might be my asthma medication, whatnot, and yeah, what I can into my trip. And yeah, I've had the discussion with my partner and said, done the best that I can, I'm going to be doing the best that I can, and we're fine with that. So we're not necessarily people who need to have extravagant experiences. It's more about having the experience of being around somebody that you care about and just having a good time. I have not been keeping up with my expenses. I'm not going to this month. I kind of have a rough idea of where it's going anyway, so it's just not worth it at this point in time. Everything's really messy. At least it's a little bit less messy than January was. And I can just, yeah, like briefly show you that I have sort of worked out a little bit of what's going to be happening to come out in March, but I'm just going to take it as it comes. I think the next 2 months are going to have to be taken as it comes as I adjust, and then figure out where I'm going to go from there as well. I have been sort of getting a little bit more work. I did make 130 so far this month, and that's all gone into savings anyway. That went into my bills and my ticket. I think I showed you guys in my last cash shopping, yes. I was meant to get 20 this week, but the person bowed out. It was for a uni textbook, and so I'm hoping within the next week to make that extra 20 bucks to make my usual manifesting of 150. If not, that's also okay. So it's just going to be a process. So I'm pretty happy with that. I will be very happy once I knock those out. Things like getting my mattress, putting the rest away for the dinner, making sure my travel insurance is covered, insurance in general, health insurance, and yeah, be good to go. So all in all, I'm pretty happy, and I have noticed that like the one thing that has changed in terms of looking at my like relationship with takeaway and food and stuff this month as well is that even though I have been getting coffees a little bit more and whatnot, I'm using my services a lot more, I'm cooking a lot more at home, because I'm adding the extra 10 to my groceries, and it's kind of balancing itself out anyway. There is a lot of fatigue that does come with having to change your budget all the time, but I'm working very slowly on like getting to the point where like hopefully by next year it's my goal to have a better income, steady income, and not live so much budget to budget, or rather paycheck to paycheck. It'll be a little bit more easier to put money away and have emergency saving funds and whatnot without having to stress all the time about that. And when I look back about like where I am from when I was the same point last year, which is just about on the cusp of moving. I moved here to this new house on the 14th of March, so I was in a pretty bad situation with low income, no savings, really bad hostile house environment, and I had to borrow money and I had to work to get out of that house. So considering that I'm in a really healthy house now, even though there's been some changes, I think that I'm doing really well with learning to manage my money, figuring out what I really need, and what makes me happy, and what I have to prioritize, what it's like to prioritize, and putting money away for emergencies and things like that. So like there have been times when I have had to take money out of my savings, but I've had that money there, and that's a hell of a lot better than I was doing last year. So even though I'm feeling a little bit stressed at the moment, I'm very proud that I'm still progressing in this journey, and going to therapy and working on the things that are related to sort of financial stress and whatnot. So I'm pretty happy. So this week's been pretty good. Stressful but good. I'm looking forward to ending February on a good note. I'm pretty happy that I've made 130, and like I want to keep that going. That's a really good amount of extra income to put towards things when I do earn it or do sell things to make it. And with sort of tutoring and stuff starting to sort of take root again, I'm hoping in the next couple of months that will be a little bit steadier as well, on top of my research, casual work, and everything else. So there are a few expenses that I would like to put money aside for as well. So I'm probably going to make a video about the things that I want to future plan for, specifically with like my career and work stuff, because there's a few things that I do want to rejig my budget for and have that discussion with my partner to be like, I want to invest some of this. I will probably invest a large amount of it from the money that I make from doing certain things, but how do you feel about taking up the mantle for this, or those kind of conversations that we're going to have. So that'll be a very interesting time. But I'm looking forward to it. So that's it, really. A bit rambly, but that is this week. It is a bit of a trying time. But there was also something else I was going to mention as well. Yes, sorry. I do now have an Instagram, so I will leave the Instagram below. I am trying to be a little bit more active on it. I don't always remember to post things, and I do have a link to the service Buy Me a Coffee. I've seen it around on some other people's channels, so I thought I'd make a Buy Me a Coffee donation kind of link as well. you are free not to use it, you are free to use it. I have no expectations. I just thought it would be a great thing to do if you feel like you want to support the channel as it grows. I would definitely appreciate that. And those links will be in the description below. So that is all, and I want to thank you all for watching, and I cannot wait to chat with you next week. And I think I might also be making a video on something to do with long distance relationships as well. I have to check about that. Okay, bye guys.